Good evening, friends. Welcome to the session. And thank you so much for choosing 360DigiTMG for the hospitality analytics. So today we are going to understand the domain that we have chosen, that is hospitality. Just a second, friends. Sorry, friends. So we are understanding hospitality domain, which in turn we are supposed to understand how this hospitality is getting benefit with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence. We all aware that the data gradually, exponentially, rather I can say, increased enormously. However, driving the insights from the data was a big challenge. Was a big challenge. So hope you are able to see my screen, what I have written. Okay, thank you. Now, what does this hospitality is basically mean? Why machine learning and artificial intelligence is going to help this domain? The purpose of using these technologies inside this industry, that is hospitality industry. Almost there are 60 to 80 plus industries, or I can say domains, which deal with data a lot today. So to extract the insights from that particular data do require machine learning and artificial intelligence. Hence, this is one among them, which is getting benefited to predict, forecast, and be prepared well in advance by making some strategies. You all aware that from past 3 years, there was an epidemic criteria, situation, condition in whole world. The whole world was suffering from COVID-19. The impact of this disease is on all the various department or fields or the domains. One among them is hospitality. Where it contains basically hotel management. The industry, the hotel industry got affected enormously. There was no travel. There was no tourists. So when you don't have these kind of activities, there was no people moving around the world and got restricted. The hotel management were under loss. So the hotel management needs to reimburse these losses. And also in the global market, the prices of the objects or the things got high because of availability. So all the domains, one or the other way, it is interlinked, where there is no proper resources. There is no proper resources availability, the lack of resources availability. However, when you have a proper resources, how do you manage management and improve your revenue? So this is an important task to improve the hospitality or to improve the revenue management, the revenue, without affecting the customer. Because ultimately, if the customer is not turning up for the hotel, there won't be any business. So without affecting, you need to increase the price. So you need to predict how to increase your price, how to maintain the customer relationship in booking the rooms to enjoy the hospitality of the particular industry. And it also makes some strategies to well in advance prepare to avoid the booking cancellation. There will be a loss when there is a cancellation. So they also need to make sure they are on the right track to highlight and get details about to avoid more cancellations. So the particular domain needs to take care of plenty of things without undergoing any loss. So we try to understand some of the algorithms that are helping the domain to concentrate on all the aspects which we have discussed, right? So first, the day one will just see what are the introduction to the domain and what is that domain consist of and what are the applications of that. And we try to understand what is the crisp MLQ, which is very much needed for any project management for data science. Or I can say data science or ML. And we'll try to analyze the data, which we call it as data preparation, data cleaning. So all sorts with respect to data, we'll try to understand. So before creating your own model, we need to understand the data. So we'll look into that. And the fourth day, we'll just analyze what is k-means, and k nearest neighbor. And this is not a classification model. This should be a linear regression, because one of the regression model also we need to see. So we have classification model as KNN and decision tree. For regression, we'll see a linear regression, and for clustering, we'll see k-means. So which covers all the supervised and unsupervised learning model of machine learning, which are the two subtypes of machine learning, which in turn also continue to understand what is the role of deep learning concept in hospitality. So we'll try to understand these things in today's agenda. And when it comes to crisp MLQ, we try to understand business understanding, data cleaning, processing, preparation, selecting the machine learning model, evaluating that, deploying that, and monitoring. So which is very important for a particular machine learning model until it is monitored and maintained. Because we do have a real-time data, hence we need to take care about monitoring the data, monitoring the model that we have developed. Under exploratory data analysis, we have business pre-processing that has several processing things that we need to highlight when the data are not available properly. When it is missing, when do you need to create your dummy variable, the time casting, if you want to convert from one form to the other form. When you have duplicates, how do you manage that? And basically, more important is detecting the outlier and avoiding the outlier. So when it comes to the next descriptive statistics, that is the first moment business decision, second moment business decision, third moment, fourth moment, and future engineering. So we'll try to understand these things on the third day. So proceeding further, we'll try to understand what is clustering algorithm, that is k-means, how a clustering, when we make it as a cluster, will help the hospitality domain in understanding the customer behavior, the sentiment analysis. It can be through the reviews or analyzing the way of booking the room, hotel, whether they are frequently coming for the business or very rarely they are booking the things. So these kind of segmentation is needed. So this unsupervised learning, we doesn't know what could be the possible outcomes, will highly specify that segment what we have defined to understand the customer behavior and also their preferences, which makes a hotel industry to make or to predict some of the strategies and be ready with the plans by offering the things or by getting some benefits for the customers. So they need to be smart enough to attract the people. Okay, so that was the thing. And we do have a classification algorithm, that is KNN. So where this helps in predicting the cancellation, why they have done, the reason behind that, to get something insights from the data, where there are lot many data pertaining to the cancellation of hotel rooms. It can be a last moment, it can be anything. And this K nearest neighbor also helps us to understand average daily rate. When I talk about average daily rate, it is concerned more about the revenue for the company. Where a particular room is booked for a day, and on what average the rooms are getting booked for a particular time duration. Obviously, these consolidated will increase the revenue. So higher the average daily rate, better the revenue. So indirectly, it is helping the revenue. So how this ADR increases the revenue and it also compares with the time duration. As I told you, it compares with the time duration at what, when, let's say example, Jan, we have this much of bookings. In Feb, we have this much of bookings. So like this, every month you'll be having bookings. So it needs to analyze which month is having what. We can figure it out on an average from past 2 years. We can get a picture with the help of k nearest neighbor to make it as a group and analyze, and helps in coming up with some of the strategies and predict the revenue. Okay, so moreover, it helps in predicting the making a strategy to attract the tourists or make themselves to portray that they are giving you the good access. So the clustering algorithm is done. So now we'll see the regression algorithm. It is going to use with the help of the data that they have for the hotel booking data. With the help of that, they'll get a patterns analyzed on what basis the rooms are booked and what is the number of demand that they have. When the demand increases, are the number of bookings happening? So what happens when the number of demand goes down? In which month the demand got increased? So it is linearly dependent on the demand with the particular month. So we just try to extract that particular pattern, whether it is strongly correlated or it is not strongly correlated, so that it will help us to analyze and predict the demand for the next coming years or the next few months. And this, as I told you, regression technique is going to predict the future in the hotel domain, which does not give much accuracy. Where we do have some other algorithms that is benefiting us with a good accuracy. So this was a simple method which takes a very few parameters to analyze and predict a good strategy so that it may help us to come up with the plans. But we can't completely rely on the particular algorithm because it has some pros and cons. So looking onto the cons, we just drop this because not with the accuracy level. So when it comes to classification algorithm, that is decision tree, we also predict the hotel cancellation and why the cancellation is happening. So it helps in booking multiple times, and it can be a fraud booking. Some of the reasons they make prank in booking the room and then they are not coming, and then it's simply a waste. So we do have some key parameters to understand that and affect the conversion of cancellation of booked room into cancellation. So we need to follow up with the customer, those who booked and they are traveling every now and then. So you just need to follow with their traveling, also with their visa, whether they are traveling frequently or from country to country, they are traveling with the business work. So we just need to understand those data also. So when it comes to application, basically they need to improve the revenue management. So for that, we need to know the forecast the demand and the condition of the economy. So whether we can increase the price, and we need to understand the market to divide into a segmentation. Who is going to book more? Who is going to be not booking the different varieties of rooms availability, and it yields to for the maximization of revenue. So moving towards these kind of supervised and unsupervised learning model is going to help in different situations where gives us more clarity to understand and then come with a strategy. In advance, you can prepare. So there are more insights that we can take out from this hospitality analytics, where we can have more research oriented things, because since the big data evolved, handling those and extracting the insights from that is a big challenge. So the purpose of the work that we are doing in analytics, understanding hospitality analytics, is to understand the impact of tourism over the next few years, which helps us to sustain in this global market. So basically it depends on both, or it reflects on both opportunities and risk that is involved in the particular technology, and also the consumers and the tourism organization. So when the big data is generally beneficial to the tourism and hospitality organization, they need to have some ethical, privacy, and security concern about the customer data. So the research is also working on to governance the data on this field, that is tourism, hospitality, which are interdependent, which should not lose hopes just because of ethical reasons, security governance. So the frameworks are included with the effective privacy and ethics. So on a whole, we can forecast from an important significance of increase in the international tourism for the next few years, which in turn increases the demand for hospitality. And manage the customers' data is also a big challenge. So when I talk about hospitality analytics, that is a management of the data or getting insights from the data, it is moreover something like we interact with the customers, because we do take the data, do collect from the data from the customers, which needs to be more secure. And there should be a proper business deal to know how the customer is important to evolve the hospitality management. So they are also become a part of the surveys in their revenue. So the role of customer data and information is critical for hospitality. So we can have structured and unstructured data that is produced globally, and where they will be using the products like mobile services. So where they'll be booking with the apps, and they'll be using some of the websites to book the particular room of different scale. So this enormously increased the tourism, indirectly increased the hospitality, which in turn improves the business. And there are a lot many opportunities created from this, but also at the same time, there are risks involved in this. Of course, data analytics supports business with decision making and also enable the large scale volumes of data to be reviewed in a different fashion, where it gives you some insights out of it. In particularly, if I want to say, the hospitality sector is effective usage of big data when it is associated with revenue management, which may combines with the internal data, something like current bookings, and external data such as information about the flight, events, what they are here, why they came. So those are also kept confidential. Hence, we don't get much of the data since it is confidential. So we picked two concepts which is very relevant so that the data can be cooked up and may use the data for services like prediction and strategies, where we have social media conversations, online reviews, the data use, service usage, the feedback from the customers, the survey taken from the customers. These are all some of the data that we successfully uses as a big data to gain some of the advantage. Of course, generally it is considered to be for increase the beneficiary of about business. At the same time, the privacy concern, it needs to have the some ethical impact. So with this concern, the hospitality industry is also in the media because of high profile breaches. Sometimes you may violate the understanding of importance of data. So hence, it is one of the area where we can have a data security breach. So there were lot many security breaches happened in 2016 and 17 and 18, which leads to be more professional to carry out the data privacy and cyber security. When something is moving towards the digitalized commerce in this sector. When we select analytical solution for hospitality organizations, so it is required to address the concern around security and privacy of the customer data, putting it in a well-designed framework so that the quality data are to be able to provide effective information so that the information of the stakeholders is maintained. So there are few industries, for few universities which is working on it. So where Harvard is one of the university. And let me give you one simple example. In Japan, we have I don't remember exactly Henna. Okay, so Henna Hotel, it is completely AI based. The hotel in Japan, this is an hotel in Japan, which is completely AI, which is consisting of somewhere around 200 robots to do all the activities like deliver the customer's luggage to their rooms and getting the food for them. So everything is with respect to AI. So for every digital privacy and ethics, so organization need to move towards some of the frameworks which includes this. So there are big challenges to understand and analyze the data pertaining to hospitality industry. So when we talk about in general domain analytics, we do have some of the specific steps or predefined steps that is followed for all the domains. So here also it needs to be understand the past history and also we need to understand the future. This is something like forecasting. And also the current situation where everything is data analytics. For every domain, the data is so precious to make their own strategies to improve the business. So moreover, the application of machine learning is making its footprint in all the various fields, all the fields, not various, all the fields. One or the other way, it is impacting on the social responsibility and also the business concern. By making more strategies. So hence, even the hospitality is having more advantage with the help of machine learning algorithms, extracting the qualitative data and after extracting, we need to understand the knowledge about the new data. Through what data we are going to predict or make our discovery without knowing anything. That is future prediction. So from the given text or the paragraph, we need to understand the summary. Let's say example, we have 15 lines of text where we don't have much time to understand. So what we'll do is we'll try to understand the summary, which is in 4 lines, which gives you whole information. So like that, machine learning is acting as a summary to provide all the insights. If it is going to understand within no time to carry out the task. So it is dealing with the bigger data, so big data, and doing some analytics, strategies, predictions, decision, all this you can see. So data, it can be of structured data and unstructured data. So we'll try to understand what all unstructured, what all structured, because moreover, 80% of the data in the world is unstructured data. So only 20% of the data will be structured data, where you'll be having in a tabular format, where this is image, text, audio, and video. So this is also more important, where we need to understand the reviews given by the customers based on the hospitality. So prediction the future, machine learning is going to help us. So it is faster, 24/7 it works pretty faster and scalable. We can resize, quickly add some more and predict some features. And it is efficient. If it is continuously running for the same, it is more efficient. And it also makes sure that it is accurate when we define the model, train the model in such a way that it should be more accurate. Then always it will be giving you the accurate value. Let's say example, we have x plus y. We need to train the model as 2 plus 3 as 5, 3 plus 2 as 5, and 3 plus 3 as 6. So like this, we need to train the model and then we need to check for 4 plus 2. And also it needs to check for what is the value of x and y. If my output is, need to predict, if my output is 8. So the value of x and y varies. So 5, 3, 4, 4, 6, 2. So out of which 7, 1, 0, 8. So 0 to 8, it will be considered. So what about if it is 9? So 0 to 9, 1, 2, 3, even 8 plus 1, 7 plus 2, 6 plus 3, 5 plus 4, 0 to 9. So like this, it can be taken into consideration to find the values of x and y. So it's accurate. Hence, we are going with the machine learning models. So moreover, deep learning is also advanced, which is going to have some of the application oriented, like chatbot, and some of the deep learning model, which is going to predict and know more about improving the revenues. And the neural network, what we call it as, is all about mimicking your human brain. And you'll be having a pattern recognition very faster, and it speeds up in learning various patterns. So it is having to understand the unstructured data, moreover. Unstructured data. So more accuracy, more results. Even it uses cognitive computing learning method, that is going to improve the accuracy. So there are a few challenges that we have told. We have highlighted some of the challenges in hospitality analytics, that is hotel management, where data privacy and making it as secure within the ethics of hospitality and tourism is a big challenge. So data privacy and governing that particular is a big challenge. So today we have seen the applications of machine learning and which all algorithms that we'll see in further studies, ML and AI. So, and also we have discussed what we are discussing every day. So tomorrow we'll see a crisp MLQ, the steps which is required for understanding the hospitality analytics. And we also understand EDA, that is exploratory data analysis. And after that, we'll choose one from clustering and one from classification and one from regression. Models, these are the models, machine learning models. We also see one of the deep learning model, that is LSTM, which helps in improving accuracy and more predicting, which also helps us in making decisions for the future. So this is what we are going to learn in this domain. And we try to analyze the particular things. And we do have hands-on session. So where you will be doing with the various IDs so that we can be aware of different IDs so that you'll be familiar and get updated with the IDs. So I'll stop here. So we'll continue tomorrow with the crisp MLQ. And then we'll proceed with one by one with the algorithms. So any doubts, friends, till here? So if you have any doubts, you can just please raise a question. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, friends, we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.